It's a racing collection that is beyond breathtaking. And while this private museum is not available for public viewing, we had the chance to take a look and speak with Tom Malloy, who has amassed one of the most impressive group of vintage race cars at his shop in Corona, California.
So Tom, how many cars do you have total in the collection?
There's a number. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I hate to be stammering or stuttering, but I don't know.
Yeah. When did you first start collecting? When?
1992, and that number 33, that Skoll car.
Right.
That was the first car.
And you've just been slowly adding to the collection ever since.
Yeah, it got a little out of hand.
Any more you want to add to the collection? Is something you really want that you haven't gotten?
Not really. You have to come to your senses sometime during your life.
Yeah.
And I'm at that stage. I'm in recovery. I can't think of a car that, first of all, I need.
Yeah.
Number one. And at my age, there's no sense in having any more cars.
Yeah.
So, I can't imagine what it might be that would entice me to buy another car.
Right. And over the years, you have driven most of these.
Every car in here.
Wow.
But there's two cars in there that don't belong to me that I hauled to Amelia Island, so I haven't driven those. But
yeah.
Every other car in here I've driven.
I know it's probably a common question, but is there a favorite?
Yeah, it's a Brabham BT18, a little open wheel, 185 horsepower. But the reason it's so special to me is that wherever I turned out to be as a vintage car racer, that's the car that got me there.
Okay.
I learned so much, racing people with that car.
Right.
That it allowed me to step up bigger cars.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me about Turkey Night. What was that like for you?
Well, it's kind of an unbelievable thing. It's a thing you've heard about all your life, or, when you got old enough to understand. And of all the people and big names that have won it, and there's big names that never won it, like Sleepy Trip. It's hard to believe. And Ron Schumann, I think, won it 7 times or something like that. I think 3 or 4 times in a row. So it's one of those things that you'd like to have on your resume. And, we've tried and tried and tried, and lucky enough this year to win the 80th running of Turkey Night. And I'm still shocked. It's special. And, more people get to know you, because of that. And thank you and all that kind of stuff. It was a special thing. And I've retired the car. It's here in my shop. And got all the trophies and even the perpetual trophies here that I have to take back next year to Ventura to see if I can win it again. And if not, I'm keeping it in good stead here at my place until that time. So, but it's a special thing. Yeah. It's one of the, I would say Chili Bowl, BC 39, and Turkey Night are like pretty much the big time races. So if you win one of those, you're in good company. Yeah.
Stepping back in time, when did you first develop that love and passion for racing?
Well, my dad had race cars, when I was just a little kid, and then he had a racetrack, Carroll Speedway. He built that and owned that. And I'm 8 or 9 years old at that time. And I loved his track. He was an excavating contractor. And I loved his tractors, and all of a sudden he has this racetrack and bought a race car from J.C. Agajanian. That he put a young guy named Troy Ruttman in it, and they went around and made it very famous as the Malloy Black Deuce. And when Troy left Dad to drive for J.C. Agajanian, Dad put this other guy in it, probably a name most people won't recognize, but Bill Vukovich. And here I am, 10, 11 years old, now 12 years old. I'm walking around, they come around the shop, Troy Ruttman, Bill Vukovich, and these different guys, and, I'm in awe of them. And the two of them go off. This is 51. Troy wins the 552, and Vukovich wins. He should have won it that year, but he wins it again in 53 and 54. I have Troy Ruttman's winning ring, 500 winning ring here in the shop in 52, and I have Bill Vukovic's winning ring in 53. And those two guys are really special to me and my dad. So yeah, at an early age, I was hooked. I got away from it, after Dad passed away, and college and marriage and family and trying to start a business, and then I don't know, probably sometime in the mid '80s, I started helping a guy out with tires, and the next thing you know, I'm sponsoring a guy at Long Beach, and it just,
Snowball.
Yeah. I mean, this is a real sickness, and I was, I had it, and I'm not sorry for a minute of it, and I've had a great time and met a lot of really interesting people and won a lot of vintage races, and didn't make too big a fool out of myself. Always ran towards the front, and yeah, had a life I never imagined.
What was it that maybe you, or what should I say, the thing that you would love to be most remembered for in terms of your involvement in the sport?
Just a decent guy. I don't know what to say. I mean, that I raced fair and square. And what I mean by that is, I also own a company called Ed Pink Racing Engines. And obviously you'll see that sticker on engines all over my shop here. And I've made it very clear to the people at Pink's, when you put my engines together, they're legal engines. You can't own an engine company and be screwing around, because the word will get out. And I don't want it to happen to me in my company. And I mean that. I mean, they're good. Whatever engine I have, they're good, but they're legal. And that means a lot to me. In life, I've played by the rules, and it's no different in my racing, And the things I've said about my cars to people as to what they are, I'll take the test of anybody that wants to come up and say, that's not the right car. I says, well then, look at the book, look at the history, and if they prove me wrong, I'll change it, But every one of these cars in here I bought for a certain reason, and I made sure it was the car. And I've been challenged, and I've accepted the challenge, and if I can say it won the challenge, when that means a lot to me. So
Yeah, it's quite a collection. It's very impressive.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Very impressive.
I sometimes sit over here, and there's one of these canvas chairs late in the day. I may have walked out here in the shop to find out what my guys got done that day, or I leave a note on the toolbox for something I remembered that I want them to do after they're gone. And it'll be late in the day, and the sun will just be shining through the west windows, and they'll be sparkling off the car while I'm sitting there in that canvas chair. And I'm waiting for a guy to come in and say, hey kid, get out of here, we're closed. That's how unreal it is, even to Tom Malloy.
All right, Tom, thanks for letting us in and having a look at this.
You're welcome.